We're moving into our very first round back over towards Ascent.
Yeah, you're going to see Shout back on the Sova, and we know how deadly he can be on Ascent from previous appearances, but looking like a little bit of a stack over towards B main right now. Whether or not we're going to see a fast, aggressive push coming out here. Again, this is usually opted for in the pistol round. If they can find an entry before they have to commit to site, then it's usually the best approach for it, but ready with the slow orb to try and stop down any immediate push coming in here. As David P is going to... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say that one looks like it's pretty money on this one, as utility is starting to be the big factor in use. David P still playing back behind this angle. And if anything's taught us so far, whenever we're looking at Ascent, a lot of people tend to not check back behind that. And if they have to, it's always the pick around to this other side of it. So setting up a crossfire inside this point could be absolutely huge for G2.
Yeah, and that's going to force a little bit of a rotation out here. The Parrot's going to opt to head back over towards mid. The recon bolt actually going to give Mixwell away, but he does have his tailwind. He's going to get back over towards Pizza, but the Aftershock going to try and follow up on that situation and force him even further back in through the sky smoke. You can see now he's tucked away inside defensive spawn. Actually, this is going to force the rotation out all the way through tree, actually, all the way out catwalk.
Here.
Nice defensive line holding up, tries to connect, does manage to lock onto one of them, doing the dance back around the cage, but it's a quick exchange back on the other side of it. Follow-up pick's going to be coming out. Extremely careful as they make their approach. Tech still just trying to hold the line back behind onto the point. Quick pickup coming out on the other side of it's going to be Dinks, who does manage to find something to work with, but that is going to be the spike down and in front of everybody on G2 on the defensive side.
Yeah, and actually David P going to find one. 17 seconds left on the clock here, so they got to try and make something work if they want to recover this, but time running down. Dinks not managed to find his way in through main yet. He's just going to stomp onto site, but again, time not in his favor, and there you go. He will get shut down, and they will get the pistol round on the board, so good turnaround there. Again, read the rotation very, very well and got people into the right spots to prevent any madness going on over on A site.
All right, so we got G2 stacking up on the front of this one, getting themselves a victory to work around. Going to go ahead and pick up a couple of new fun toys to start this one off. Meanwhile, on the other side of it, PartyParrots are going to be coming inside of this with just a couple of pistols to work with. So let's see if they can try to find some type of approach angle that's going to work out for them, as it is a strong defensive line back over towards B right now.
Yeah, it is. And again, once you're going to see the Phantom Force up from Pat, it's a big investment, but usually you'll see teams play around that one big investment, and actually it's going to pay off immediately as the first blood is drawn. But actually the trade comes back in. Now you're going to see this mid-push shut down very, very quickly, and 3 kills going over quickly in favor of G2, and that one cleaned up very, very quickly. Again, bit of a throwaway round, but G2 will take it nonetheless.
So trying to capitalize as much as they can to continue up that economic advantage. Pretty small buy coming out on the side of PartyParrots, trying to see how that they're going to try to make their approach. A lot of stack making their way back over towards A. Like they might be trying to make some type of approach onto that angle. Not choosing to go as mid-heavy as we were seeing beforehand. We might see a little bit of a juke or a bait back out that direction.
Yeah, and Ardis again, I always see him set up for this early round utility usage into B lobby. And they're not going to get any information back off it yet, but didn't put the recon bolt in there, so have to see where the Parrots swing around to. And you can see actually a quick push up onto catwalk, and actually Mixwell going to deal with that very, very effectively with the Spectre and shut down that one. Going to get himself a quick upgrade onto the Vandal.
Doing a little bit of peek back and forth. Looks like a little bit of aggression now. Going to be right on the other side of the wall. It has a read what's going on. Here's the footsteps next to him. Patatech doing a little bit of patience on the other side of this. And this is a firm defensive line hold up, but it's going to be a quick pickup coming up from the PartyParrots. Now they have a little bit of an opening to work with, but you can see that the G2 defensive line is very strong right now. So while they've managed to get a little bit out of it, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to continue their push up and forward.
Yeah, Artist is holding down the back line on catwalk. Again, not reacting too quickly off that pick, and you can see they're just going to, I guess, wait on a rotation or something, and actually coming back over towards mid, and lucky not to lose his life there. And now, again, acting on that information, seeing one person swing out on market indicates they're looking back for that mid rotation, and Pith going to have to back all the way back up under glass here, but a 4-man push coming through from the PartyParrots.
Got the cage down in front of him. A couple of tick damages come through. Good pick up. G2 managed to connect on 2 very quickly. Gonna go ahead and make that 3. Quick follow-ups coming out. G2 has entirely on the angle, but do manage to make it back over to the side. PartyParrots at least managed to touch the site, but are quickly taken down afterwards.
Yeah, much better setup we're seeing from G2 this time around. And again, those pushes into tree, especially when you commit all 4 people. I'm not sure why the peak came outside the cyber cage there, but he got shut down nonetheless. Pith with a good setup there to play around his utility, and Mixwell synergizing really well for the counter peak.
Doing a little bit more of a little bait and switch. Looks like what we're seeing on the aggressive side as the attackers start to do a little bit more separation. Instead of running along inside the packs, very quick, slow are being thrown down by a little bit more time and space to work around the point. So maybe they can spot something, but you can see it's going to be the sky smoke that's just falling down right up in front of them. Going to have to retreat just a touch away from this one. Moving up and forward, trying to get a little bit more vision going over the smoke itself. Not going to get a ton out of it, but managed to get at least a little bit of information on what's happening. Mixwell's back on the other side of this one, does manage to pick up 1 off the side, goes for the shots on the other side, gets a little bit of damage off it, has to be very careful off of it. Going to go ahead and pick himself up a second one to work with.
Yeah, actually the counter peak from Catwalk really good as well. Now you're going to see the push coming out. There you go, G2 will take a flawless round victory. They're shutting down any of that mid presence that the Parrots were trying to show off.
G2 starting to get a little bit more control back over towards this one. More of the G2 that we were expecting to see. Granted, they do have defender side up on it this time, but PartyParrots have been able to string together quite a bit on the map back before this one on split. So we'll have to see how they manage to get something out of this one, as they're finally starting to get enough utility and money to work with. So we're inside of this buy phase and see if maybe Artist can get something together this time around.
Yeah, not really seeing too much. And again, G2 just capitalizing on this early aggression again there. Finds the pick, backs up immediately. Pith tucked all the way in front of Ali. Again, trying to throw down a little bit of a bait there as Pat backs up, but not going to find a second initially. But again, man advantage going over to G2 very early on in this round. And Angel got himself pushed up. And actually, here you go. All the information going to get found out from the owl drone there. Be actually going to wall off.
Deny out a little bit more time and space to work with. Looking back over towards this one, Mixwell still playing along the outside of it. Could find himself in a little bit of a nice, interesting flank position, depending on how we want to see the Sage play. Angel does spot out one, denies that rotation coming up back behind it. Mixwell is going to use this opportunity to get a little bit aggressive. Could spot out one back over towards the left. Cannot connect with the shots. Going to have to retreat away from it just a touch, but that's going to be a lot of information being fed over as he at least has spotted out 2 of them. Let's see if there's going to be a collapse coming back behind it, as Mixwell still feels like he can come up back behind and get a beautiful flank off.
Yeah, Mixwell actually opting to try to backfill this push into market, and contact comes through, and actually Ardis going to swing onto it. Get himself 2, but site control going to go in favor of the Parrots. And now down to a 2v2 situation. Spike going to go down. Mixwell trying to come through B lobby, and actually Xiao needs to be careful he doesn't get caught off guard here, because the other player has rotated all the way back over to flank around into market. And this is a huge play to make here, a confidence play to make. He's going to find the first on the way in, but 11 HP. He's got the orbital strike to invest here. Actually, that's going to deny the defuse initially. The Molotov goes down onto the spike as well, but 11 HP. Can he come out on top of this? No, Mixwell will find him. And the incendiary not going to eat up enough time to negate the defuse. So really good stuff from Mixwell there. A big investment from an Angel to try and stop that defuse, but couldn't get it going nonetheless.
Pushes up to 5-0. PartyParrots had the lead inside the last game, but it's not turning out too favorable for them just quite yet. We'll have to see if the PvP remains strong or if it does end up a little bit weak moving into this one. So reposition still coming back out as it's very, I guess, 2 people back over towards A and a little bit of a dance back around towards B and mid coming up from the defensive line. But Pith showing up right now, 7-2-3 score line back behind that. Mixwell, everybody was picking on him inside the chat in that last game, and now rocking 6-1-3 himself.
Again, just a fantastic start for G2 to make after, you got to say, a disappointment on split. Especially for me personally, I expected them to run away with that one, but Mixwell gonna walk out into mid and find Angel there waiting outside the mid link. So that will be first blood going over to the Parrots. Actually, there's going to be a push through B lobby here, and there's nobody on this side from G2 ready to defend this push. Spike's still stuck back in spawn, so not going to be able to get a quick plant. And Angel going to find 2. He's going to find 3. That is absolutely fantastic work from him. 4 on the round there. The crosshair placement is so good from Angel, just consistently.
He is just such a performer coming up for his team. Flawless victory, finally showing up as PartyParrots managed to pick up that one with authority. Now, what can they use to capitalize off of it? It is now a 5-1 scoreline, but God, Angel, that is just sexy, man. Yeah, give it to us a few more times. I'm fine with that.
That's just absolutely disgusting aim. And we've seen him pull stuff off that, like that off time and time again. I think that comes down to just experience, just raw aim and experience there. And obviously Angel's got a lot of it.
All right, pretty strong push, looking like back over towards mid, potentially over towards A, coming out from the PartyParrots. Trying to move forward as they are revealed and now step back away from that one, and a touch of a bait for information. See, reposition now starting to come back out around towards B site. Good pickup coming up from Pith. Does spot out SSK very quickly. Spins it back around. Does get a little bit of damage back off. Does manage to get him down. Return shots do come back over. Pith still alive on this one, holding out the side of it. Shao still looking around, trying to get a little bit more information to work with for the rest of his team, but kind of finding himself a little bit isolated.
Yeah, Angel will get back on his feet. Artist investing the revive into this one. That puts them in a 3v4 situation. Still winnable for them. They can find an entry, but David P instantly cancelling out the revive. And again, somebody is able to walk through market and find that kill in the defensive spawn. I'm not sure if this is just a hole identified in the G2 defensive line, but the second time we're seeing something like that happen.
Oh, peeked back over, but didn't think that anybody was there. Look back the other direction. Artist on the other side, he's going to go down as well. Solid defense coming up from David P, as that makes us up over towards 6-2, or 6-1, I'm sorry.
Yeah, good stuff so far. And again, I don't think we're going to see a full economy reset here. Maybe just a light buy coming out from the Parrots, because obviously now they're in a position where obviously they're down so many rounds now that they don't really need to be full saving. Whether or not we see some aggression. Actually, no, I guess that previous one there, they were sat in a position where they part bought down to be able to full buy here. So trading 1-for-1 in the last 2 rounds hasn't damaged their economy too much.
Patek throwing out a little bit of utility there. Shao's going to be moving up and forward. Should be keeping an eye out, as well as we did see Mixwell did manage to pick up himself an operator, holding himself a long sight line, seeing if anybody's going to go for the peek around onto it. Dude's going to hit with a little bit of damage. Angel's trying to get away, but that's a good chase back over, with Sova managing to just connect with Hunter's Fury multiple times.
Yeah, the Hunter's Fury good, but the spray from David not so good. Artist will come out on top of that one. And actually, Pat going to teleport back into Boathouse here, try and take a contact on lane. He will find Shao. He's going to put the paranoia out. That's going to stop the peak from Artist and slow this down a little bit now that Artist has found his way into the defensive spawn. Pat just holding the line right now, and Artist going to play that one slow and steady and still find the headshot.
Oh, that's turning a little bit problematic. Mixwell does manage to pick up one off of that one, so got to be very, very cautious with it. Spike is down on the back side of this one, so quickly running back over. You can see the Artist is going to go ahead and pick it up. Reposition back over and around. Mixwell did move away from point for just a second. Walls down, placed by G2 themselves, so Artist is at least going to be able to get the plant down. Looking back over towards this 1v1. Very low life coming out from Mixwell's side of it, as Artist is slowly creeping up, trying to figure out exactly where the push is going to be coming from. I think he narrowly missed it. We've seen a reposition around the other side, but Mixwell does manage to connect with that one. Turns it back around yet again, and that's going to be a quick defuse to make us over towards 7-1.
Yeah, let's see Mixwell playing perfectly off his mobility there. Again, the tailwind gets all the way back behind market and then reapproaches, knowing full well the Artist had to go and retrieve the spike from B lobby. So really, really good stuff from Mixwell coming up, clutching that situation. And now we're going to see a buy down, and not everybody flat out broke. 500-600 apiece on the players for the Parrots. But this is going to be a big round here. This will be their 3rd win in a row again to kind of reset the economy at least. But obviously it is a factor that Parrots have managed to get the spike down again.
Look at the money right now for Parrots. They have near on nothing to work with. Dink's all the way down to $100 right now. Shao's moving himself forward, trying to use the L to get a little bit more information. A touch to work with, but not a ton. So going to have to retreat back away from that one. Go ahead and going to pick up the spike as well. Looks like there's a dance going on back over towards mid. A little bit of an extension coming out from PartyParrots back over towards A. Are going to retreat away from that one. Still going to continue to dance back over and around, as it looks like we might be seeing a potential push back over towards B, as slowly and steadily more utilities being used back over there. We are going to see ults start to come down, but not going to connect for a lot, at least by a touch of space to work with. But here comes the reposition back over towards mid and B specifically.
Yeah, actually the orbital strike going over market, and actually David P going to find one on the way in. Artist will fall there, so stage falling early. The recon bolt gets sent out, and I think it probably spotted one, but Pat now holding down. Angel just swings wide on him. That's gonna distract Mixwell a little bit, but Artist finds two on the way in. SSK and Dinks will fall, and now actually Bladestorm gets invested by Mixwell, getting a little bit aggressive outside the defensive spawn, but here you go now, trying to hold down the line outside main, and there you go. David P will pick up another 2 kills. 3 on the round for him, and that's a fantastic hold from G2.
He just made that one look so clean, coming in back behind it, picks it up off the side. Artist picks up the 2, and then look at the counterflank coming in back behind it. David P, good awareness coming through, and good stall coming up from teammates to really keep the attention focused back towards that connection point. G2 now sitting on 8-1 score line. We saw it go heavily favored inside PartyParrots last time around on the defensive slide. Can PartyParrots manage to pick up a couple of rounds to make the task to catch back up to G2? Not just the most miserable thing on the face of the earth.
No, really good response here coming into the second map from G2 initially. Artists now going to try and swing out and do what they do best, which is absolute aggression on these defensive executes. Pick themselves up 3 early kills in this round. SSK with a Sheriff top mid trying to get something done. And Mixwell just staring down with the operator onto him. Pith going to get the freest kill of his life here. Should Dinks decide to push in, and there you go. We'll shut that one down. A throwaway round in terms of economy for the Parrots, but G2 not stuttering.
Oh, pistols versus operators. Feels bad, man. So gonna see a little bit of a buy coming in from PartyParrots this time. See if it looks like a flexing back over towards B right now. Looks like that might be their form of approach moving in, but we've seen them very regularly try to step forward and use it as a distraction point. So mind games might continue, or it might be finally time to capitalize off the mind game.
Yeah, and again, G2 just building momentum now. I think we're going to see Mixwell get more and more aggro with this operator, trying to get these early pickoffs. David actually going to get met by the Aldrone. He's going to break LOS just so they don't get the information away, but will it find him? It will find him indeed, yes. And actually, Hunter's Fury going to get invested straight away. It's going to force David P out into the open, and he will lose his life to Shao's Hunter's Fury. And actually, Angel going to pick up a nice headshot to Mixwell to stop that one. 3 kills gone unanswered right now for the Parrots.
Big pickup there, taking down the operator onto line of sight. Should buy him a little bit more space. Also aggressively moving out. See that the breach just sitting there expecting Pith to be coming back around onto this angle. Is Pith going to be aware? Is he going to lock in? Pith just steps around, drops him near on instantly. Cypher's now going to go ahead and use that neural theft to see if he can get enough information for his teammates to try to get something out of. Art definitely does get a capitalization, takes down Dinks as well. So now we have a little bit of a defensive line rotation. Artist trying to get the res back up. Have to see how this one's going to come back over for it. Quick takedown coming through there, as it's going to be the attackers finally picking themselves up around. Going to be PartyParrots picking that one up.
Actually, yeah, really nice play there. Again, Artist getting fed the information from the neural theft that there was a flanker coming through the attacker's spawn. Shuts that down. That draws Artist out to pull the revive. And actually, Artist tried to shut that down again once the push came through B lobby. Unfortunately, not winning the 1v1 the second time around, but close call. Nice round from Parrots. That puts their second on the board. Again, in terms of economy, it's not going to do too much damage to G2, and they should still be looking to finish this one on a 10-2 scoreline the way they're playing. Say that.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty rough. Quick exchange coming out as Angel and David P just both connect on some couple of shots, but quick follow-up's going to be coming out from Shao. We're going to have to see how Pitt's going to be playing this. He's still back over towards mid. See if he can maybe get some type of angle, but it looks like PartyParrots trying to go ahead and at least pick up one more before we get into the halfway point. David P slowly creeping around the side of this one, trying to see if maybe he can line up a shot based off the peak. Doesn't connect with the shot, so going to go ahead and opt into retreating away from it.
Yeah, going to back up towards Pizza now. 4-man push going over towards the B side. It's just David P and Pith. David going to get Mixwell back on his feet. Maybe give it. Actually, Pitt's going to find an important kill. That puts it down to a 3v3 now. Spike will go down. So the retake on B, usually the more difficult of the two, but let's see what G2 can make it happen in the last round here.
Looking like they're choosing to come back, approach from spawn. Good shot's going to connect, and it's going to be Shout yet again, picking up 2. Now it's all onto the back of Mixwell. See what he can manage to get out of this one. He might have himself a nice little angle to play with, but nobody's really wanting to toy with him along this line. Instead, just firmly defending back along the sight line. It's going to get Flash, Nero, no vision to work with, takes a shot, hopes maybe it connects, doesn't get anything out of it, and it's just going to be a slow creep up and around, and doesn't connect with that shot, as it's going to be Shao yet again picking it up to finally pick up a round for Party Parrots as we switch in the half.
Again, just SSK, just doing these subtle utility usage. Again, the flashpoint from bottom of the stairs to send through a flash that completely blinds Mixwell over in the defensive spawn for Shao to swing on that. Unfortunately not to get the kill. He picked it up eventually anyway, but I mean, they were talking about this on the desk. Just the small things that SSK does is really showing how he's coming into his own on this breach role.
Role switch now happening. We've seen a very defensive side of map so far, but can Party Parrots capitalize off of this one? We know that this pistol round is going to be huge for them. They need to win this, otherwise they could potentially find themselves losing this round and the next round to follow up, and then just be playing from an absolute terrible position. So Patek's going to go ahead, throw out a little bit of utility, kicking it right off onto it. Looks like the approach is going to be going back over towards A with a little bit of position coming back around towards the catwalk at mid. Going to go ahead and push back around onto this one, and you can see it looks like a decent read coming out from the defense, moving back over towards spawn, feeling like they might be able to flex back into position. Mixwell plays it very aggressive, pushes right over into it. SSK stepping back and away. He's got the slow orb down in front of him.
And that's the Angel managed to swing his way out through the dark cover. Doesn't find anything, unfortunately, so he does have to back up. Maybe wait for some backup here, but Aldrone going to give away all this information there. David P going to win the 1v1 in mid. Now this round should be locked up for G2.
Trying to step away from not a lot of work that can be done. Patek going ahead and picking up Shao. Going to have to deal with the incendiary underneath of him. A couple of tap shots going to go ahead and finish him off as well. Mixwell's got a read that's got a little bit of company off to the side. Angel still playing up from heaven, trying to take a couple of shots. Not going to get it as Pith manages to connect yet again. And this looks like this could be the beginning of the end for Party Parrots, as they just don't get near on anything out of that round.
Yeah, big round for G2 to put on the board. Pistol round in the second half puts them to 10-3. And the Parrots now again in a weird position. We've seen it a number of times today, just where you have to make the decision. When do we save and allow another round going over, or, you know, allow for a mistake and a 1 round buffer here? If G2 go to 11, it's such a difficult position to play back from.
Just got to throw everything you can into it. It looks like they're just firm committing everybody all together. Just hope that you can go for trades back and forth as the shots come through. Doing slow repositions on the outside. Information is going to get fed over a little bit, so at least know somebody's back around main. Patek's going to go ahead and throw out a little bit of utility, stepping up and forward. Shot's going to come through. This is going to be Mixwell. Just a quick double tap coming through with Artist as support. Jumping up and through. Good shots, as that is cleanly going over to G2 very quickly.
Yep. Again, just Mixwell showing why the Judge Jet combo is so deadly. It's able to get right up and above SSK there, and again, I mean, Artist finds Shao now, and this is looking bad for the Parrots. It doesn't look like they invested too much, so they're going to try and hold G2 on 11 rounds, maybe just do a little bit of damage there, but unfortunately not to get the kill. Mixwell will pick up his third on the round with the Judge. And now Parrots going to be back on their bye. And G2 probably going to keep a couple of these part buy weapons from the previous and just go ham here and try and lock out the Parrots. If they break them here, they break the economy. It's all but GG for me, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot we can see the Parrots working with based off position. A lot of economy has already gone back over into G2's favor. They're managing to clump up and just bully them with ability use and just better guns. So now with a little bit of a buy coming in, what can the Party Parrots manage to accomplish? Pith already spots out a little bit of information trying to be gathered, takes it down quite quickly. Push looks like it's coming back around towards B main. A little bit of an idea that could be going on as a reposition coming back out from breach towards mid, glancing back down along that side. But it's still firmly in control right now of G2 on their approach vectors. A little bit of a peek going back out and around as there's just really the wall separating out, and everything is going to be coming down to this for PartyParrots. They need to find something to work with. A nice little sneaky angle coming up from the wall. They're not going to be able to get a lot out of it, but Artist just continues to retreat back, trying to stall as much as possible.
That's the Angel going to swing out market here. As soon as that audio cue comes through, Artist finds him shower there with the trade, and that's the Artist there to back up. Sorry, putting the emphasis on the T, but it's confusing having Artist and Artist in here. Mixo actually going to use the updraft and the tailwind to get in, and that's an awkward range to try and take a judge battle. The Vandal coming out on top of that one, obviously. That's the Aftershock going to get it again. Just the utility usage from SSK again. The Aftershock from underneath window to try and flush out Pizza. It's just, I love the lineups, and Dinks will finally find David P, and that will be the Parrots putting their 4th round on the board. So definitely not over just yet, but minimal investment from G2 here. You got to assume they're going to be back on a full buy this round.
Yeah, it's just such a dangerous predicament. They're like on a razor's edge right now. If they fall one more round, it's just catastrophe for them, and they know. So they're trying to keep the economy up. They're trying to use every tool that they can at their advantage. Doing a good job of slowing down the momentum that G2 was bringing into this one. Looks like a little bit more of a separated aggression is going to be coming out from the attacking side, running a little bit more of a split back over towards the AE site, thinking maybe they can get a little bit more information to work with. But utility starting to come down. As you can see, it's Sky Smoke starting to fall down into place. Let's see how the push comes through.
Yeah, Pat trying to find something through the Sky Smoke there, but again, the Parrots now, you got to assume if they just try and hold this default, G2 are going to be in a position to just swarm one side of the map and take advantage of that. And actually looking like we're going to get a little bit of a mid push coming through here. Again, the defensive line of the Parrots still holding strong. 1 mid, 2A, 2B. And they are holding deep. The trap wire is activated by the Owl Drone. Ardis baiting that one out. And he's not going to spot anything actually because Angel's playing all the way back inside the spawn archway. So no information fed over either way just yet.
Yeah, it's kind of just dancing around each other right now, seeing if maybe they can get an initial opening onto it. SSK is trying to spot this one out. You can hear it's going to be the orbital bombardment coming off into the distance, though. Not going to connect enough to get a kill off of it, but it's going to be Artist finally spots out one, but Artist is going to take him down. Quick spray coming back out. Shao manages to pick up one, looking back over towards it, picks up a second, goes back over for the third. Big play coming back out of this. Shao still looking back over, knows that another's back on the side, picks up his 4th before going down. Mixwell walks back over onto this one. Now it has to be very careful. Information now firmly in control. Mixwell moving back away, trying to at least get the spike back.
I mean, they were absolutely desperate to trade that kill, but why are they pushing with the spike there? Bladestorm going to get popped from Mixwell, sorry. Now he finds himself in a 1v2 situation, opting to maybe take the first peek with the operator, but this is a really tricky situation for him. Actually, the spy cam going to reveal him, and now the push comes onto site. Angel picks up that kill. And that there, for me, very, very questionable decision-making from G2. I mean, initially the cage comes up. Shao comes up absolutely huge here. But look, the first tag comes up, finds the headshot onto Ardis here. This is absolutely unnecessary. I don't know why they would commit to that. The cage is blocking LOS. They can come back. They can take a default hold post-plant. Shao wouldn't have an entry out of the spawn. I'm not sure. That was a bit overzealous from G2 there.
Almost feels like bloodthirst kicked off. They just got eyes turned red and felt that they could get the kill, and it was just like, he's one hit, and the follow-ups just didn't manage to connect them. To be real, I don't think that he was one hit. But looks like, see the repositions coming out as G2 looking like a little bit more favored back over towards mid and potentially B. Gonna get spotted out on their approach. Angel still looking back around onto this one, trying to play it a little bit more aggressive, seeing if maybe he can spot somebody out. And yes, is gonna get a couple of taps into the back of it, but does only get one off of it. And that was kind of messy.
As I say, a rare miss from Angel. He's been so clean with those headshots. And actually, talk about clean headshots. There you go. Shao will respond with one onto Mixwell after the tag comes through. But yeah, a rare miss from Angel, and eventually gets traded out the spy cam. Going to give all this information away. And actually, Pat looking to swing outside the dark cover. So Dinks maybe being a little bit weak, sloppy there, but SSK is there to back him up. A half health Pat will fall. The tag comes in from 5th initially, but SSK will find the second in the form of a headshot. And now Parrots get themselves up to 6 rounds. Again, they've got to hold them at 11 because as soon as a team gets to 12 rounds, I feel like it's a matter of time in Valorant. The way that the economy works, it's so difficult to kind of hold a team on 12 rounds.
Why do we keep getting this over and over inside of this series, Hypoc? We see the defenders take an early advantage, and then it just becomes a turnaround back around over towards it. It's just so much pressure back on towards the team lower score. Think's trying to see if maybe he can find himself some type of peek angle back to work with. Mixwell looking like he might want to play this one a little bit aggressive as well, going for the peek off the side. Doesn't manage to connect with anything just quite yet as the information does pop over. A little bit of peek, and it's not going to work this time. Mixwell does manage to connect onto it. Now I got the Aldrone going back over, trying to feed the information back over towards the operator, seeing maybe they can connect on something. Doesn't hit the shot, but now has to be extremely careful. Dink's trying to go for the play onto it, but it's going to be the Hunter's Fury coming back in to open up the site, and this could be bad.
Yeah, finds 2 with the Hunter's Fury. Now Parrots in a 2v4 situation. Spike will go down next to Generator. Aldrone going to take a little bit of peek, but not going to find anything just yet. The Cade's still covering, and I think actually the tag goes through onto Ardis over in lobby. Artist now going to swing out his dark cover, but Pat ready for it. Finds the headshot with the Phantom, and now Shao finds himself in a 1v4. A little bit of damage done. Ardis will fall, but the operator going to get saved, and now it's very scary for Parrots.
We're on match point, and you now have to win 6 games in a row, Parrots. This is not going to be the easiest thing to happen, as it looks like we're going to be making our way over towards the 3rd game of the series for the 2nd time today. Looks like we were seeing a lot of 2-0s coming out in the beginning parts of everything that was going on inside of this, but now it's starting to open up just a touch more. So let's see, as PartyParrots is starting to set up, G2 have themselves a strong approach. Looks like they're leaning heavily back over towards B.
Yeah, Paranoia gets popped immediately. Not going to actually block anything, but Artist there ready with the wall to go up to stop the push coming through immediately. And actually the TP coming through. Pat's going to get all the way back into Boathouse, and Artist goes to try and deal with it and will lose his life for it. 1-for-1 trade right now. Shao will find the kill, but Spike goes down, and G2 have a really strong post-plant position here.
PartyParrots are all huddled back around next to spawn. Not a lot of options to make their approach in. PartyParrots still holding down sight by himself. It's going to be long angles coming out from everybody onto G2. They've got so much control and vision. It's going to be so hard for the PartyParrots to find some type of approach to make something happen. Looking around the outside of it, it's going to be Dinks if he can manage to find some type of opening shot. There's 2 quick follow-ups off of it. Artist does manage to get 1 in return, though. That could be big. Starting to see a little bit of aggression coming out as now we are down into a 2v2. Mixwell still trying to hold back onto the angle, seeing maybe he can spot something. All pressure coming now back onto the defenders, trying to move up to take down side. Quick jump over, knew the angle for it. Mixwell doesn't manage to connect onto it. Now all pressure coming back over towards him. He gets taken down. Big plays coming outside of this one. So now you can see the PartyParrots going back over for the defuse and going to take this one up to 12-7.
Yeah, Neural Theft just giving the gig up there. Again, I said G2 had a really good post-plant position because of the 2 players that were stacked. One inside lobby, the other one just tucked away underneath the market door. But both of them going down is huge in terms of G2's ability to hold that down. Really, really good retake from the Parrots.
Take one down, pass it around. 5 more to go if you're a PartyParrots fan. Trying to get a little bit more of a defensive setup, and this is kind of what we saw PartyParrots doing beforehand. Whenever they knew the fact that the fight wasn't going to go in their favor, they would step away on the previous map and go ahead and let G2 step in and take it, and then they would do a very dominant retake. Let's see if they can keep that momentum up, or if they're just too hesitant to even let G2 inside the house.
Shout, I'm going to try and get a little bit of information outside mid here, and actually the recon going to give Ardis away. Couldn't quite figure out where it was, but information goes over. We did see a couple of weapons on the board for G2, but whether or not they try and make a play around these, you can see right now a bit of a stack over towards mid. A couple of people still over towards mid link, and David P was the man with that Phantom in hand. You can see another one on Pat in front. Dinks here with the operator. Aldrone going to go in. He's going to back up, choose not to give the information over, but now counter peeks off it, finds Mixwell, and actually, even though the tag comes through, he's still going to escape with his life. David P going to get Mixwell back on his feet, and actually the orbital strike comes in. Not going to do too much damage, actually. It doesn't cancel the res out.
Oh, the side push onto the... Dink's got to be very careful now, trying to get a couple of shots. They managed to inflict a little bit of damage, but down into a 4v3. Nice little fight coming up back behind this, as it looks like there could be a huge opportunity. Let's see if Shao's holding him back over next to Heaven, trying to spot out vision back over towards the cage, and there we go. That's going to push us up to 12-8 right now. Still continuing their role. PartyParrots not wanting to go down without a fight.
Yeah, really, really good stuff again from the Parrots. Fantastic setup. Again, Dink's doing absolutely perfectly. Baits in, doesn't give the information away initially with the owl drone, then counter peeks them as soon as the owl drone turns the other way. Really, really good stuff from them. Again, not sure if we're going to get a chance to look at the scoreboard here, but I'm seeing pistols across the board for G2. Opting to just maybe throw this one away and go for the rebuy in the next. Obviously, they're going to aim to put that operator back on the board, but Bladestorm popped straight away from Mixwell. He's actually going to not find the entry there that he's looking for. Artist will pick him up with the Phantom, pick 2 up. Didn't find the third, though.
Little messy on their approach. Looks like they were leaning heavily into Jet usability onside that ult, but Angel's going to go down as he's trying to get a shot back over towards it. It's going to be Shao starting to be a little bit more aggressive on this one. Slowly playing this one out. G2 only got one member up and alive, and it's going to be Pith. Gets spotted out from the side, and now we're making our way back up to 9. Getting closer and closer to catching up on point, trying to slowly get away from that trap.
Again, Parrots holding the line there. The wall blocking off a lot of the angles, forcing G2 out into the open. Artist able to just open up with 2 kills. And now, obviously, you're going to see G2 buy back into this one. You see a little bit more of a default setup here. Not as much top mid presence from G2, but we'll see if they opt to move towards one side or try and play off a pick here. Only need one more round here, but the Parrots have brought it back. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they're putting in a ton of work, showing a great amount of resilience coming in. Angel does manage to pick off Mixwell at the start of this one. That could open up the doors to pick up yet another round. He's starting to creep back away from this one as he's trying to get a little bit more information. Throws down the Sky Smokes as well. So let's see how G2 opts into defending this position based up. And it's going to be SSK yet again trying to see if he can find some type of opening for his teammates.
Yeah, just primed with the flashpoint here. Angel going for a little peek out in towards mid. Not going to find either angles just yet, but SSK no real pressure to peek out onto this. So a slower approach here, obviously, after the first blood goes over. Hunter Fury going to get invested here. Not going to find anything initially, but trying to clear out that tree position, and Angel dodges it really, really well. Actually, David P is going to get himself right up next to this. He's going to back up. The recon bolt doesn't give it away, and now Artist and David going to swing into tree here. Angel's still alive somehow. He's playing his life fantastically.
He is just slowly and steadily stepping back away from that one. Dinks does manage to find one onto Patatek, but it's going to be SSK off to the side that just managed to net several. Shao still playing up next to Heaven, and it looks like it's going to be a continued defense popping off for the PartyParrots. They're looking back down towards Pith, last member up, and it's going to be a flawless round to take us to 12-10. Is it possible, Hypoc? Can they turn this one around? They are so close.
I mean, Parrots are absolutely locking things down right now. G2 don't seem to have an answer for some of these slow rounds that they're trying to execute on. And I mean, now we're going to see a much heavier stack over towards mid link and B side. Maybe going to see a push coming through. We have the neural theft available, and we also have the ultimate on Pat. So maybe going to look to teleport somewhere aggressively, get some early information. But we do have a 3-man stack from the Parrots over on that side. So actually, not going to see anything come through B lobby. And these guys are going to opt to go towards mid.
I like the space that you can see PartyParrots are giving in no rush. It's going to be Patatek connecting back over towards Angel. A little bit of peek around the outside of this one's going to go ahead and be Artist taking down one. I got to be a little bit careful on it. Shao starting to get a little bit of damage off, but knows the fact that he's outnumbered, trying to step away from it. Mixwell does manage to spot out one as well. Looks like Artist does manage to pick back up Angel to give him a little bit more space to work with, because they know that they cannot surrender yet another round, otherwise that they lose. Mixwell is now stepping back away from this as it looks like a quick shift back over towards A. Looks like everybody on the defense has got it baited back over towards B, so that might give them enough space to finally be able to close this one out. Dinks says no. He connects with a good shot back over towards Patatek.
That was fantastic. Again, just timing that one shot through the dark cover so well. Rolling Thunder going to get invested here. It's actually going to cancel the plant. SSK going to choose to send a fault line in just to buy a bit more time. Pith will fall inside the garden. And now G2 falling apart here on this eco round, but got to be expected. They're going to allow Parrots to get up to 11. They only need one more round to win this one and push it to a third map. Angel will find David P in hell, and the defuse will come through.
Oh my God. If you're a G2 fan right now, it's time to start sweating a little bit of bullets. They had a massive lead, and now just one round separates. If G2 can manage to take this, it's going to be huge for them, but they've managed to open up the doors for PartyParrots. PartyParrots still needs to just catch up. They are so close to turning this one back around. Don't forget, PartyParrots managed to pick up the first map, so if they manage to get this massive comeback, they will take this series.
Yeah, everything comes down to this now. Again, Parrots have done absolutely fantastically coming back on this. A couple of really strong individual performances again on the side of Parrots. Shao, SSK, Angel, again, Artist time and time again as well. Just really, really good stuff, stepping up when it matters. And actually, Pat's going to TP all the way onto site. The updraft and tailwind comes in from Mixwell. Going to get some site presence down. They clear out Hell, so they know that they can force in, but SSK will shut down David on the way in.
A nice little pickup off of that one. You can see reinforcements now coming in.
Oh, no.
Looking back around the outside of it. Angel managed to pick up another one. They have the numbers in their favor. Going for a pick off to the side of it. Bars is going to pick up one. It's going to be SSK yet again that picks it up. Artist is still continuing to put in work for G2 off the side of it. Got to be very careful as he steps up. Managed to take down one, but it's not going to be enough. That's it, Hypoc. We are now in a tied game.
I mean, Artist, I keep saying Artist now. It's getting stuck about it. The less these guys play together, the better for me. But Artist making a fantastic effort out of A main there. Try and stop that. Jumps out, challenges Artist over by the door. Unfortunately, G2 just taking casualties on the way in. They didn't get a decent post plant setup. The damage that Parrot's able to do. Absolutely the influencer of that round. So we do go to overtime. And, I mean, momentum definitely playing towards Parrots right now. This is actually getting pretty tense.
Breakthrough.
The massive amount of time and effort and the mental fortitude to come back from how many rounds that they were down. PartyParrots coming into this one, knowing the fact that opportunity awaits in front of them. They know that they can do this as they've been trying their hardest to hold this one out for so long. A little bit of peek off to the side of it. It's going to be Artist that does manage to spot out Angel. That's going to be one member already down for the PartyParrots, but it could open up the doors for G2.
Now things are going to slow down after that first blood. And G2 still holding 2 over towards Garden, and it's looking like a good setup considering where we see the PartyParrots looking to push into. And actually the spy cam going to get the early information there. Pith going to relay that to his teammates. You can see Mixwell already getting himself up in towards heaven. Cyber K is going to cut off some sight lines, so no information given over towards the Parrots, but it's really, really slowing down now. That they definitely want to get the attacking round on the board. This is always the more difficult to crack on Ascent, especially when it comes down to this overtime situation.
Everybody is afraid to make even the slightest mistake right now. So hesitation coming in, discipline, gun control. Peaks are going to be the big factor. Artist going to be able to pick up one, but quickly turn back around. It's exchange on both sides as now there's going to be 3 members up on both teams. Quick aggression now moving, repositions coming out, and you can see the spike does get planted. Now I'm going to go ahead and close off some of the doors, go retreat back away from this. As you can see, firm defense looks like it's being set back underneath for Hell. It's going to be PartyParrots slowly creeping back up, seeing if maybe they can find a dance back up next to Heaven, but it's going to be SSK yet again. We've seen this guy clutch it up so many times for the PartyParrots, whatever it matters. He's doing so good on breach, spots out one, goes for the spray into it, does manage to connect, but it's a quick exchange. Mixwell puts in some work, picks up 2 of his own, but now a little bit of a dance back around behind this. Got to be very careful as it's a 2v1 situation. Goes for the spray on the outside, not going to be able to connect to it, and that means that G2 is going to be able to pick up the first overtime round.
Yeah, really good stuff from G2 again. Things look pretty tense when you saw that double stack going over towards Hell. And actually, SSK, unfortunate not to get that kill earlier on Ardis, because you got to think he would have been able to get the second as well. David P was full white off that flashpoint. Really, really good stuff from them to hold on to the site.
PartyParrots now surrendering that round. No pressures return back. They've managed to catch back up one time. Can they do it yet again? All pressure for the series now rests onto G2's shoulders. They need to win this round to take us to the next map. They cannot let PartyParrots run away with this one, but PartyParrots has managed to come from so far behind to push us into overtime. You know that they want this one. If anything, we can all attest to the fact that the PP is strong right now. Tech playing it out, trying to get a little bit more information back over for his teammates as it's going to be a quick retreat back away from the point.
And that's going to force a little bit of a rotation over towards the A side. Spike still hanging around mid-link. David and Pat just playing time on this one. Again, D2 are just going to try and play off an entry here. I don't think they're going to give too much up. They're not going to go hyper aggro here because you got to argue they do have the advantage getting the first round of the board. Angel got himself tucked all the way into mid-cubby. He's actually going to find Artist on the way in here, gets that kill, puts the incendiary down to stop anything. Going to try and sky smoke himself off, and the teammates coming in to try and bail him out. And actually, Mixwell going to find it with the classic. Dashes in there, and he finds the second as well. It's so good from Mixwell.
The gates come open. Mixwell plays this one aggressive, picks up a fast 2. Now looking around, seeing if he can spot any more. Has to be very careful. Steps back away from this one, seeing if maybe he can connect with anything, but is constantly blinded off of his approach as SK still just trying to hold this one down, trying to defend it up for his teammates. Try to get the shot off the side of it, but PartyParrots going to open it up. Going to go ahead and throw down the spike as well. Now it's going to be all about the retake. It's going to be Shell trying to get the play up on top. Knows where Heaven's going to be at. Gets a lot of information fed back over to him. Good pickup as he's going to spot out PartyParrots. Gets the reload, has to go for the reposition back around on the Cypher's going to be playing around the outside, but David P comes up for the flank, and there we go, people. G2 says that we're not going to go down just quite yet. Sure, PartyParrots made him work for it, but G2 takes the round, and we've got another map to go.
I mean, what a fantastic comeback from the Parrots there. It was a real tall order to come back in that fashion, but they absolutely pull it off.